Jane Eyre, Chapter 24. As I rose and dressed, I thought over what had happened and wondered if it were a dream. I could not be certain of the reality till I had seen Mr. Rochester again and heard him renew his words of love and promise. While arranging my hair, I looked at my face in the glass, and it felt it was no longer plain. There was hope in its aspect and life in its color, and my eyes seemed as if they had beheld the fount of fruition and borrowed beams from the lustrous ripple. I had often been unwilling to look at my master, because I feared he could not be pleased at my look, but I was sure I might lift my face to his now, and not cool his affection by its expression. I took a plain but clean and light summer dress from my drawer and put it on. It seemed no attire had ever been so well becoming to me, because none had I ever worn in so blissful a mood. I was not surprised when I ran down into the hall to see that a brilliant June morning had succeeded the tempest of the night, and to feel through the open glass door the breathing of a fresh and fragrant breeze. Nature must be gladsome when I was so happy. A beggar woman and her little boy, pale, ragged objects both, were coming up the walk, and I ran down and gave them all the money I happened to have in my purse, some 3 or 4 shillings. Good or bad, they must partake in my jubilee. The rooks called, and blither birds sang, but nothing was so merry or so musical as my own rejoicing heart. Mrs. Fairfax surprised me by looking out of the window with a sad countenance and saying gravely, "Miss Eyre, you will come to breakfast?" During the meal she was quiet and cool, but I could not undeceive her then. I must wait for my master to give her explanation, and so she must. I ate what I could, and then I hastened upstairs. I met Adele leaving the schoolroom. "Where are you going? It is time for the lessons." "Mr. Rochester has sent me away to the nursery." "Where is he?" "In there," pointing to the apartment she had left, and I went in, and there he stood. "Come and bid me good morning," said he. I gladly advanced, and it was not merely a cold word now, or even a shake of the hand that I received, but an embrace and a kiss. It seemed natural. It seemed genial to be so well loved, so caressed by him. "Jane, you look blooming and smiling and pretty," said he. "Truly pretty this morning. Is this my pale little elf? Is this my mustard seed, this little sunny-faced girl with the dimpled cheek and rosy lips, the satin-smooth hazel hair, and the radiant hazel eyes?" I had green eyes, reader, but you must excuse the mistake. For him they were new-dyed, I suppose. "It is Jane Eyre, sir." "Soon to be Jane Rochester," he added. "In 4 weeks, Janet. Not a day more. Do you hear that?" I did, and I could not quite comprehend it. It made me giddy. The feeling, the announcement sent through me was something stronger than the consistent with joy, something that smote and stunned. It was, I think, almost fear. "You blushed, and now you are white, Jane. What is that for?" "Because you gave me a new name, Jane Rochester, and it seems so strange." "Yes, Mrs. Rochester," said he. "Young Mrs. Rochester, Fairfax Rochester's girl bride." "It can never be, sir. It does not sound likely. Human beings never enjoy complete happiness in this world. I was not born for a different destiny to the rest of my species. To imagine such a lot befalling me is a fairy tale, a daydream, which I can and will realize. I shall begin today. This morning I wrote to my banker in London to send me certain jewels he has in his keeping, heirlooms for the ladies of Thornfield. In a day or two I hope to pour them into your lap. For every privilege, every attention shall be yours that I would accord to a peer's daughter if about to marry her. Oh, sir, never mind jewels. I don't like to hear them spoken of. Jewels for Jane Eyre sounds unnatural and strange. I would rather not have them. I will myself for the diamond chain round your neck, and the circlet on your forehead, which it will become, for nature, at least, has stamped her patent of nobility on this brow, Jane, and I will clasp the bracelets on these fine wrists, and load these fairy-like fingers with rings. No, no, sir, think of other subjects, and speak of other things and in other strain. Don't address me as if I were a beauty. I am your plain Quakerish governess. You are a beauty in my eyes, and a beauty just after the desire of my heart, delicate and aerial. Puny and insignificant, you mean? You are dreaming, sir, or you are sneering. For God's sake, don't be ironical. I will make the world acknowledge you are a beauty too," he went on, while I really became uneasy at the strain he had adopted, because I felt he was either deluding himself or trying to delude me. "I will attire my Jane in satin and lace, and she shall have roses in her hair, and I will cover her head I love best with a priceless veil. And then you won't know me, sir, and I shall not be your Jane Eyre any longer, but an ape in an harlequin's jacket, a jay in borrowed plumes. I would as soon as see you, Mr. Rochester, tricked out in stage trappings, as myself clad in a court lady's robe, and I don't call you handsome, sir, though I love you most dearly, far too dearly to flatter you. Don't flatter me." He pursued his theme, however, without noticing my deprecation. "This very day I shall take you into the carriage to Millcote, and you must choose some dresses for yourself. I told you we shall be married in 4 weeks. The wedding is to take place quietly in the church down below yonder, and then I shall waft you away at once to town. After a brief stay there, I shall bear my treasure to regions nearer the sun, to French vineyards and Italian plains, and she shall see whatever is famous in old story and a modern record. She shall taste, too, of the life of cities, and she shall learn to value herself by just comparison with others. Shall I travel? And with you, sir? You shall sojourn in Paris, Rome, and Naples, at Florence, Venice, and Vienna. All the ground I have wandered over shall be retrodden by you. Whatever I stamped my hoof, your sif's foot shall fall also. 10 years since I flew Europe half mad, with disgust, hate, and rage as my companions. Now I shall revisit it healed and cleansed, with the very angel as my comforter." I laughed at him as he said this. "I am not an angel," I asserted, "and I will not be one till I die. I will be myself, Mr. Rochester, and you must either accept or exact another celestial for me, for you will not get it any more than I shall get it of you, which I do not at all anticipate." "What do you anticipate of me?" "For a little while you will perhaps be as we are now, a very little while, and then you will turn cool, and then you will be capricious, and then you will be stern, and I shall have much ado to please you. But then you will get well used to me, and you will perhaps like me again. Like me, I say, not love me. I suppose your love will effervescence in 6 months or less. I have observed in books written by men that period assigned as the farthest to which a husband's ardor extends. Yet, after all, as a friend and companion, I have hoped never to become quite distasteful to my dear master." "Distasteful, and like you again? I think I shall like you again and yet again, and I will make you confess I do not only like, but love you with truth, fervor, constancy. Yet are you not capricious, sir? To women who please me only by their faces, I am the very devil when I find out they have neither souls nor hearts, when they open to me a perspective of flatness, triviality, and perhaps imbecility, coarseness, and ill temper. But to the clear eye and eloquent tongue, to the soul made of fire and the character that bends but does not break, at once supple and stable, tractable and consistent, I am ever tender and true." "Had you ever experience of such a character, sir? Did you ever love such as one?" "I love it now, but before me, if I, indeed, in any respect come up to your difficult standard. I never met your likeness, Jane. You please me, and you master me. You seem to submit, and I like the sense of pliancy you impart. And while I am twining the soft silken skein round my finger, it sends a thrill up to my arm, to my heart. I am influenced, conquered, and the influence is sweeter than I can express, and the conquest I undergo has a witchery beyond any triumph I can win. Why do you smile, Jane? What does that inexplicable, that uncanny turn of countenance mean?" "I was thinking, sir, you will excuse the idea, it was involuntary. I was thinking of Hercules and Samson with their charmers." "You were? You little hush, sir. You don't talk very wisely just now, any more than those gentlemen acted very wisely. However, had they been married, they would no doubt by their severity of husbands have made up for their softness as suitors, and so will you, I fear. I wonder how you will answer me a year hence. Should I ask a favor it does not suit your convenience or pleasure to grant? Ask me something now, Jane, at the latest thing I desire to be entreated." "Indeed, I will, sir. I have my petition already." "Speak. But if you look up and smile with that countenance, I shall swear concession before I know of what, and that will make a fool of me." "Not at all, sir. I ask only this. Don't send for the jewels, and don't crown me with roses. You might as well put a border of gold lace around that plain pocket handkerchief you have there." "I might as well gild refined gold." "I know it. Your request is granted, then, for the time. I will remand the order I dispatched to my banker, but you will not have yet asked for anything. You have prayed a gift to be withdrawn. Try again." "Well then, sir, have the goodness to gratify my curiosity, which is much piqued at one point." He looked disturbed. "What? What?" he said hastily. "Curiosity is a dangerous petition. It is well I have not taken a vow to accord every request." "But there can be no danger in complying with this, sir." "Utter it, Jane." "But I wish that instead of a mere inquiry into perhaps a secret, it was a wish for half my estate." "Now, King Ahasuerus, what do I want with half your estate? Do you think I am a Jew usurer seeking good investment in land? I would much rather have all your confidence. You will not exclude me from your confidence if you admit me to your heart." "You are welcome to all my confidence that is worth having, Jane. But for God's sake, don't desire a useless burden. Don't long for poison. Don't turn out a downright Eve on my hands." "Why not, sir? You have just been telling me how much you like to be conquered, and how pleasant over-persuasion is to you. Don't you think I had better take advantage of the confession and begin and coax and entreat, even cry and be sulky if necessary, for the sake of a mere essay of my power? I dare you to any such experiment. Encroach, presume, and the game is up." "Is it, sir? You soon give in. How stern you look now. Your eyebrows have become as thick as my finger, and your forehead resembles what in some very astonishing poetry I once saw styled a blue-piled thundercloth. That will be your married look, sir, I suppose." "If that will be your married look, I, as a Christian, will soon give up the notion of consorting with a mere sprite or salamander. But what had you to ask, thing? Out with it." "There, you are less than civil now, and I like rudeness a great deal better than flattery. I had rather be a thing than an angel. This is what I have to ask. Why did you take such pains to make me believe you wished to marry Miss Ingram?" "Is that all? Thank God it is no worse." And now he unknit his black brows, looked down smiling at me, and stroked his hair, as if well pleased at seeing a danger averted. "I think I may confess," he continued, "even although I should make you a little indignant, Jane, and I have seen what a fire spirit you can be when you are indignant. You glowed in the cool moonlight last night when you mutinied against fate and claimed your rank as my equal. Janet, by the by, it was you who made me the offer." "Of course I did. But to the point, if you please, sir. Miss Ingram?" "Well, I feigned courtship of Miss Ingram because I wished to render you as madly in love with me as I was with you, and I knew jealousy would be the best ally I could call in for that furtherance to that end." "Excellent. Now you are small, not one whit bigger than the end of my little finger. It was a burning shame and a scandalous disgrace to act that way. Did you think nothing of Miss Ingram's feelings, sir?" "Her feelings are concentrated in one, pride, and she needs humbling. Were you jealous, Jane?" "Never mind, Mr. Rochester. It is in no way interesting to you to know that. Answer me truly once more. Do you think Miss Ingram will not suffer from your dishonest coquetry? Won't she feel forsaken and deserted?" "Impossible. When I told you how she, on the contrary, deserted me, the idea of my insolvency cooled or rather extinguished her flame in a moment." "You have a curious designing mind, Mr. Rochester. I am afraid your principles on some points are eccentric." "My principles were never trained, Jane. They may have grown a little awry for want of attention." "Once again, seriously, may I enjoy the great good that has been vouchsafed to me without fearing that any one else is suffering the bitter pain I myself felt a while ago?" "That you may, my good little girl. There is not one other being in the world has the same pure love for me as yourself. For I lay that pleasant unction to my soul, Jane, a belief in your affection." I turned my lips to the hand that lay on my shoulder. I loved him very much, more than I could trust myself to say, more than words had power to express.